Hey, what's going on, Bulls? Hope you had a good Sunday, good weekend. We'll do a week ahead report video form, and we'll talk about what's coming up. It's a big week for news and also price action. So we'll start with the price action, the charts, the technicals, and then we'll talk about the news and the potentials that are coming with that news. So firstly, I just want to bring up this video that we did, market update for our members. And on 16th of the 8th, so 16th of August, nearly a month ago now, where we talked, where the price was obviously there, you can see it on the chart, the price was at 24k, and we talked about the implications and what. All right, we're back. We'll just have a look at what was said then, and then we'll talk about how that is relevant to now.
To do a couple of tests, likes to try things more than once, likes to take a couple bites, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4. Likes to have a couple of. That was COVID back there, so obviously not so much, but we've just come down and we don't even know, the market hasn't made a decision whether or not it's going to put in a higher low or a lower low. It'll probably be more like this though if it's a lower low. But the market hasn't decided on a low yet, which is very important to do. It's very, very rare when you just get a full V-shaped recovery, like bang bang, fucking see you later, bye. This was COVID. This was the COVID crash, right in the middle of a fucking perfectly good uptrend, so that doesn't count. Black swan event, they call it. So just remember that a low hasn't been put in. It may be a higher low. It may be a higher low, and they turn the money printer back on and we fucking continue up. Could be a lower low, but the market needs to find out where the low is. It's very important. So that will come.
So as you can see, we talked about the potential of a higher low being put in, and if we flick over to where we're at now, that is exactly what is being put in, a higher low. So a low was made. We talked about what the next low is, the most crucial and important low of what's going to happen next, and it was a higher low. So a higher low signifies potential trend reversal, double bottom. It's a change of structure. You can see like stuff like this goes on. It may continue lower after that, but as you can see, low, higher low, and then what came after that was a rally higher than the initial high. So low, high, higher low, higher high. So I mean, the probabilities are stacked in the favor of a higher high now, probabilities wise. What goes on after that, we shall see. Probably where the news comes into play. We'll also bring up a couple of things, just the two easy, simple moving averages that everybody looks at. We're on the weekly chart right now, so that'll be the 200 week moving average, and then there's also the 200 day moving average. Why is it 200? Why the number 200? I didn't invent it. It's been around for a long time. This is what everybody watches, so that's what makes it important. That is a 200 week moving average, so we can expect potentially a bit of resistance when it meets there, maybe. Like this is why this was a good bull trap. Pokes its head above, makes people think we're clear, and then it dumps back down, makes people scared again, and then the washing machine. If we flick over to the daily chart, one candle equals 1 day. So this is zoomed out weekly. This goes all the way back to 2020. You'll see where I am, 2020. If we look at the daily chart and we put on the 200 day moving average, we've got a while. You can see that price action respected it there. So price action respected the daily one there. It turned away. You probably, if we take it off the line chart, you probably see maybe some wicks here. Exactly. See how just touched that 200 day. Everybody sold it straight away at resistance. So upside targets, potentially another run for this liquidity zone here, and this would be a touch of the 200 day if the run continues higher. We've only just had one candle, but we've definitely had a big green dildo up the sphincter of anyone who was late shorting after this down run, with all the bullish divergence that we posted in the main channel. But the main point that we wanted to talk about right now is we had a low and a high low put in. Once this daily candle closed above, then that is considered a break of the range, and a confirmed low was put in, and a higher low at that. Very, very important that it was a higher low, not a lower low. Bit blurry, but hopefully you can see that. CPI data, so they're looking for inflation numbers. People want to see inflation numbers lower, so they slow down on the interest rates. That'll be bullish for the markets. The ETH merge, September 15, right when we're at the Bitcoin convention next week. So what do I think about the ETH merge? I think that it'll probably go pretty well. I think that it'd likely go pretty well because they've taken so long, they've done so many tests, they've waited, they've been patient, they haven't rushed it. I think there's a much higher probability of it being successful, and then likely the market continues to rally. But what impedes on that are the two next things. So Mt. Gox claims deadline. So I mean, there's so much FUD and uncertainty around the Mt. Gox money. So just briefly, if anyone doesn't know, Mt. Gox exchange got hacked many years ago when Bitcoin was only $100 or something like that, and all those people will be getting a lot of their Bitcoin back soon. So they will be getting it. And what do people that bought Bitcoin at $100 and have been waiting for 6 years or whatever to get their Bitcoin do? They sell it. So that'll most likely be sell pressure when that comes. But it's very difficult for me to find an exact certainty on when these people are receiving the hacked Bitcoin. The next thing is September 21, FOMC rate hike decisions. So rate hikes just impact all markets basically. So there'd be a bit of a grace period by the look of it, maybe 6 days between the ETH merge and the rate hike if it's not impeded by the CPI prior to that as well. So what I'm saying basically in summary right now is that we've had some nice big green candles, and what usually hurts the most people is when it keeps running. It keeps running, and people are, they're sitting on the sidelines, wishing that they had gotten in sooner. So as a higher low, just keep it super simple. Higher low. There will be probably pullbacks along the way. Maybe even get a pullback soon. If we go to the stochastic momentum, very easy indicator just to learn, understand, and appreciate. It's just the momentum, the pushes and the pulls, the ins and the outs. You can see right now when it goes low, it's like holding a ball underwater. Pong! See that? Holding underwater. It can stay underwater for quite a while, but bang and then bang. When it's above, see when it's reached, I got these yellow lines on the extreme areas. See above here, similar above. So if we keep zooming in even further, you see the 12 hour starting to get pretty hot here. And when the 12 hour gets pretty hot, like for example over the extreme areas like this, bang, 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 bang. Doesn't mean the trend can't continue up now. It just means be cautious, because look, where they were extreme, bit of a pullback, extreme pullback, extreme sell off. So we're in the extremes now on the 12 hour stochastic. It's been quite a accurate indicator. Extremes down here, extremes down here, and then liquidity grab, run for the lows, and we're moving up. So like I said in the last video, the month ahead report, September's are typically a bad month for crypto. That's a fact. Nothing's changed. I mean, that's just the statistics. The last 5 Septembers have been shit. But when you start seeing these huge green god candles like this, you need to be able to switch your bias fast. The people that keep saying no, down, 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 they're the ones that struggle. They're the ones that suffer. You got to be able to sit on that fence, not give a fuck whether it's going up or down if you're trading, and just deal with the information that is put in front of you. You do not know, and you cannot change what goes on with the economy, what the Federal Reserve do with their inflation numbers, and how the markets react like that. If you're sort of a small fry, if you're not a $100 million firm or something like that, you just gotta be one of those fish that swim along the sides of the shark and just roll with the punches and just float with the river and just accept it and just go along with the flow. So the flow now is obviously had some big money buyers. That is some large money just rocketing that straight up. And all right, cool, we're going up now. It was going up for a bit now, so we'll see. It could be pullbacks along the way. You'll see some support areas on top of this, like this. So resistance then becomes support, maybe something like that. It depends how bullish the big money is. See this resistance along here. It's resistance where boom, boom, a lot of pivot points, boom, 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 and then again, boom. So boom, bing, 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 bing. That's sort of how price action works. These are the big sell areas. These are the big buy areas, stuff like that. So we'll see if the market is unbelievably bullish, if the merge goes well, if the CPI news comes out good. There's no way for me to know that prior. I don't have any inside men in the Federal Reserve. But if that comes out good, then the buy pressure will probably just continue, and then you'll see the trend running hot. Otherwise, we're looking for the next support area next. So hope you have a good week. This will be an exciting move for crypto, most likely be quite a volatile one, so it'll be action packed. We'll keep you plugged in with the daily briefing and in the chats, and I'll see you next week for the next one. Peace and love.